Hi, this is Mrs. E with the tutorial I promised everybody about how to create a graph in Google Spreadsheet and then get that graph into a Google Doc, specifically into your lab write-up. So I have a little fake spreadsheet here that I made with some sample data. And so the first thing you want to do in your Google Spreadsheet, which is going to look different from this, okay, it's going to have your lab data in it. First thing you want to do is highlight the data. You have to tell Google Spreadsheet what data you want it to graph. Then what you want to do is actually you can go up here to Insert Chart, or you can go over here because Insert Chart is there, and you click on it and you're going to get a little window, Chart Editor. So under the Start tab, you've already selected the data. Now if you look at this graph, you know if you look at your data, this is not what you want. Okay, first of all, you have to figure out what kind of graph you want. This is a line graph. Actually, it's an area chart. That's not what you want. You got to figure out, am I comparing two things? For example, in this graph, we're comparing two different product sales. So we want to use a bar graph for that. If you were to be graphing something over time, such as your bacterial data, if you're in biology, okay? If you were to graph something over time, that would be continuous data. That would be a line graph. But since we're comparing two things, we want a bar graph. So we want to go down here and click on that. Now, that doesn't look right. Look at that. This doesn't look quite right. So let's try some things. Let's use column A. Let's use column A over here, okay, as the labels. In other words, you want them down here. So let's see if that does any good. Oh, a little better. So now we've got each of the sales by product SKU. That's a stock keeping unit right here. But still, is that really what we want? Do we want all this data here and all this data here? Is that going to help us identify trends? So let's switch the rows and columns here. Oh, that's better. So now we can see product 3487928 is in blue and 3582754 is in red, and we're comparing them for each month. I think that is a little bit better. Okay? So if it doesn't look quite right, you want to check mark stuff here. Okay? So we've picked our chart. In case you want to pick a different chart, the Charts tab just tells you which different charts they have, but we don't really need to do that. You want to go to Customize. The first thing is you want to give it a title. So we are comparing average sales between different products over 3 months. A good title is not a cute little question. It's not any of that stuff that you guys are used to putting. It describes what is in the graph. It's really boring. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. So you put a title, and right there it is. Now the layout, the legend is to the right. You can leave it there. If you click on top, it goes there. Click on bottom, it goes there. Just, leave it to the right. You're good to go. You have to label your axes. So if you click on here, you see vertical isn't in blue. So vertical, you're labeling this one. So this would be dollars. Then click on horizontal. Now you're labeling this, and this would be time in months. You always want to put the units on those things. Okay. These features you don't need to worry about. If you want to change the colors here for each one, you can. You don't have to. But really, after you do that, you're ready to insert the chart. All right, now this is where you need to get the chart from the Google Spreadsheet into your Google Doc. So if you click on it, you'll see that over here you have Chart 1. Click on the drop down and click Save Image. Now if you're in Chrome like me, what's going to happen is you're going to see that it downloaded it in a new window. It's called Chart, mine is called chart_1.2png. You would see it, my little thing's in the way here. All right, in Chrome, when you download it, opens in a new window, and you'll see it along the bottom. So then what you want to do is go to your document. Scroll down to where it says graph. Get rid of all this stuff. Click on Insert, Image. You got to find the image. In my case, it's in the Downloads folder. All right, and I know what it's called because I read the bottom. There we go. So it's called Chart 2. Double click on it. It will upload it. And there you go. So if you save it as an image and then pull from the image and insert it into your lab write-up, you'll be just fine. So if you have any questions about this, let me know. Otherwise, have fun.